Hello and good morning to you. Now, it's a beautiful Thursday morning right now, and we're already in the studio. Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Thursday, 6 a.m., and we're right here. And this is live. This is not recorded.
Nope, not at all.
So, you know, you can imagine what time we woke up.
Yeah. Talk about what time did you wake up?
3:30 a.m. I'm an adult. I'm an adult. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, you're fully an adult now, so.
Fully.
As in, really. Okay, so there's loads for us to talk about, and it's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great show as well. An amazing week so far for us.
Yeah.
And I guess
I'm pretty fast too. It's been a fast week. That's good because tomorrow is Friday.
Yep.
And
meaning we can.
Yeah, please don't scream game day.
Not yet.
Okay, yeah.
Not yet. Tomorrow. But my name is Titi Laya Oyinsan.
And I'm Yomi Okwe. We're streaming live right now on tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. And sending your comments on our social media platforms.
That hashtag, Wake Up Nigeria on TVC, you should know it by now, really, but we're going to tell you anyway. Download the mobile app, of course. If you have a mobile device, Android or iOS, you can have that on your devices and watch us from anywhere in the world.
Yeah. Anyway, we're kicking things off this morning. As usual, it's Thursday, so, you know, birthday shout-outs.
Yes, sir.
Do you have anyone celebrating a birthday?
Not this week, but last week I did, and I have for the upper week as well, so don't worry. But it's all about you, your special loved ones, and their special day. We'll be celebrating them soon.
And then there's going to be a musical performance from Michael Anyegbu, better known as Anyas.
Gospel music minister, songwriter, Fido Clef will be here giving his own brand of music.
From the Miss Deaf Nigeria pageant, we will be having guests join us to talk about this year's event. I'm looking forward to it. Beautiful ladies there.
And for an art display or display of art, we'll be having Agba Ochege, whose passion for preservation of culture led into photography. I love what people can do with photography these days.
Amazing things.
Yeah.
Amazing things, bringing out colors around the world. Anyway, on tech, Just eBay will be joining us to give us a guide to how to use social media to increase your business revenue.
Very important these days.
Yeah,
very,
very tough too.
Then, lastly, we have author Temiloluwa Adeshino joining us for a chat. Her book, Bantu, the Big Fat Bully, is our focus for today, and it's a very interesting piece.
Yeah, very
interesting. You really
interesting.
want to see this.
Very interesting. So I met the author of this book at an event.
Okay.
So she wrote the book and her husband did the illustrations. So I thought it was, yeah.
What a collaboration.
It's a nice collab, you know. So that kind of thing.
Bullies are not always big and fat, you know.
No, but...
Yeah, small bullies.
Yeah.
Winch.
Wow.
Soldier ants, a small bully. So we used to have some people like that, like very small. And you just see them just come like this, the big boys. You've not seen them?
Of course not.
That's all.
In school.
You had
in primary school.
Big or small?
He was smaller than me, and I was tall. I used to take my tea and bread every day.
No.
And I would go home hungry, and I didn't know how to tell my mom. Till one day, my brother
How do people have that kind of confidence? Like, I've always wondered
He was
where
so confident.
a
Just
small
take it.
person is just, you know, aggressive.
It just depends on who is doing the same to them at home.
Yeah.
In their community, where they come from. And now, a bully doesn't just appear. It was
They've
probably
been bullied before.
They've been bullied before, or someone in the environment just continuously lords over them, so they feel the need to lord over other people.
There's some people that see happen, and
That's what I'm saying.
they're not lorded over. So see, look
like
at
shocked.
the dynamics especially when it's primary school. The dynamics there are very, very interesting. Someone I just have seen a movie.
Yeah. Exactly.
And one day just comes the next day. I say there's something I always say. No matter how much you train your kids, what you might have done for like 10, 15 years, peer pressure of 1 month will probably just take
scatter
it away.
everything.
1 month,
Scatter it.
even less than that. So as much as it is possible, as much as it's important for you to do your own parenting, the friends of your kids are very important. They will do what you've not been able to do.
Yeah, that's
Those
true.
are, your daughter just one boy that she just wants to show the boy that she's a fine girl. But all the home training you're giving her, will just go. All everything.
Bullying is a big issue internationally.
It is.
And now, of course, because of cyberbullying, it's
Yes.
even
Which
worse.
is even worse, you know.
It's worse.
Cyberbullying is worse because of the number of people that see, you know, anyway, it's a big deal right now, and it's causing increase in suicides among young people and things like that. So it's something that's worth talking about.
So that book, there's loads of conversations we can have on that book with our author for today. But I really would like to just, say, if you know you're going through something like that right now, you've probably been bullied before. Don't worry, it wasn't only
Everybody
you.
has been bullied before.
No, not everybody. Not everybody.
Everybody.
Not
I'm sure
everybody.
you were too stubborn to be bullied.
You see, when your stubborn end, now there's some people won't start.
That's very true.
So when you're thinking that your head is too shaking, that's why some persons will start. But yeah, I don't know. You don't want to be bullied. They'll beat you up maybe once or twice and all of that. And then you go back home with your parents and say, "What? They beat you?" Go back. And then that's what your me will do.
We have to take the news. We have to take the news update now.
Bio is on standby for us.
Welcome to the news. Newly promoted brigadier generals and commodores have been decorated. 5 brigadier generals and 3 commodores received their new ranks at the defense headquarters in Abuja. Our correspondent Kemi Balogun reports.
Ceremony is attended by senior officers, family members, spouses, friends and well-wishers of the newly promoted senior officers. The decoration ceremony is for 5 brigadier generals and 3 commodores who are currently serving at the defense headquarters in Abuja. The Chief of Defense Staff, represented here, urges them to be more resilient and strategic thinkers, especially in the face of the present security challenges.
It is expected that with this new rank, we are going to add more vigor into the operational activities that is currently going on around the country. We expected that your thinking, your approaches will change from what you used to be now to that of strategic thinking.
Recipients of the new ranks say they are more than ready to take up any challenge that may be required of them.
It is something to really thank God that we are fortunate to be part of this celebration today. For those who did not benefit, God's time is the best. Just be patient. Your time will come. Hopefully by next year, this time we shall celebrate others.
The newly decorated brigadier generals are Onyema Wachuku, Yakubu Sakaba, Audu Mbafung, Ochege Ata, and Magaji Inuwa. And the newly decorated commodores are Innocent Ngatua, Chukuma Anakwe, and Bolanle Sunday. Kemi Balogun, TVC News, Abuja.
Now, Super Plaza located on Akirele Street in Surulere area of Lagos State was gutted by fire on Wednesday. Emergency responders have put out the fire, but goods worth millions of naira were destroyed. The fire started from the top floor of the one-story building. An eyewitness account gave us an account of the event.
I thought it was a switch over that normally comes up like that. Then people will come, call the electrician, and they switch it off. The next thing, I started hearing people calling names. Bima, 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 Bima. Come, 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 come. And the moment I came, and I saw it, where is this fire from? I ran outside, went in, and brought in the fire stuff. Then we got upstairs. When we got upstairs, I first of all pumped one, pumped the second one, And I now find out that I started feeling sensation on my feet. I said, what is happening? So I called the manager in charge. He now came. We thought is what we can bring down to stand still. But when the thing got out of hand, they've been calling 112 to come over. And
Well, the Nigeria Governors Forum has held its 7th meeting this year at its secretariat in Abuja. On the agenda was the 4th Istanbul Public-Private Partnership Summit and how states can leverage in this to build infrastructure. The Vice Chairman of the Governors Forum, Aminu Tambol, briefed his colleagues on the outcome of the trip to Seattle in the United States to meet Bill Gates, who is a major sponsor of the campaign to eradicate polio in Nigeria. Another issue deliberated upon was the federal government's deduction for the budget support facility that was given the state through the central bank in 2017. A communique will be issued to outline the resolutions reached at the forum's meeting. Now, public servants and contractors who have defaulted in the implementation of constituency projects initiated by federal lawmakers would have the law to contend with. This is President Muhammad Buhari has ordered the probe of those who failed to judiciously spend the over 1 trillion naira voted for such projects in the last 10 years. President Buhari also called on the National Assembly to hasten work on the Special Crimes Court Bill, which he says will tackle corruption cases such as these. The president added that the ICPC report on constituency project tracking initiative confirmed the fears that people at the grassroots had not benefited from the huge money that the National Assembly members had collected for the project. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has reached out to President Muhammad Buhari's assertion that there is very little to show for the more than 1 trillion naira allocated to constituency projects over the past 10 years. Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila described the comment as a breach of legislators' collective privilege. The Speaker blamed the ICPC for what he calls misinformation. And that's it on the news update for this hour. Weather update is up next.
Yeah, so we're starting with the Punch this morning, and the headline is this: no IPPIS, no pay order. Federal government ASU clash again. Enrollment in varsities begins Monday. We will shun it. UI, UNN, ABU lecturers vow. It's preemptive to say union won't comply, say federal government. It also says here, fire destroys plaza, 15 shops in Lagos. Pages 4 and 5 have more on that. 40% of African countries in debt crisis, say the IMF. EFCC arraigns Maina on fresh 738.9 million naira contract scam. We've expelled students in viral sex video, say Babcock. And it also says here, Kogi Bayelsa, PDP NWC backs court action against poll results. And finally, PNID. Federal government appeals $200 million order, and Abuja trial begins. Been waiting for that trial to begin, actually, and it just has. That's what we have on the cover of the Punch.
All right, let's take a look at the Vanguard. Burning of Kogi PDP woman leader, a planned job, says community. Family members in shock, fear reprisal attacks, and to meet this weekend. But for illness, Salome might have escaped, a relation says. And PDP, APC demand justice. ABC Nwosu, Shonibare, others outraged. Wow. Up here, constituency projects, reps, PDP senators tackle Buhari. Bayelsa Guba, we have no issues with Jonathan, PDP says. And Amnesty International declares Showore, Bakari, Jalingo prisoners of conscience. And SEC seeks federal government's intervention in non-oil sectors to boost economy. And suspension, I won't join issues with Olanusi, Akeredolu says. And leadership tussle, 2 feared dead, scores injured as transport unions battle in Lagos. Hellish traffic situation, temporary, says the Lagos state government. And probe, Lagos Assembly asks court to strike out Ambode's suit. That's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard.
I like that word temporary on the traffic gridlock matter. Temporary, by God's grace. It can be really, really terrible. Now we have the Guardian newspaper, and it says here, Senate lashes out at anti-corruption agencies over unaudited accounts. Accuses agencies of not auditing accounts in 20 years. Issues ultimatum to 25 bodies to present fiscal details. And the story starts on the cover there and wraps up on page 6. PDP caucus demands justice over murder of Kogi woman leader. APC condemns post-election violence as Melaye petitions INEC. Report flays government over attacks on journalists during the polls. Reps order abolition of acceptance fees in tertiary institutions. Nigeria may lose over 150 billion naira to prodigality in 2020 budget, says group. Buhari signs executive order to end open defecation. And finally, police arrest 30-year-old woman for throwing infant into Sockaway pit. Goodness me. That's what we have on the cover of The Guardian.
Yeah, that's around all that we can take on the newspaper headlines. We'll be back with a traffic update in Lagos this morning.
You know how it is, Lagos traffic. Now, that's something a number of people have come to identify with downtimes, Lagos traffic. Well, let's see how much we can help you. Of course, you can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC if you want to send direct tweets to us. Okay, so I got my guys, my gang in the kitchen. I'm forming serious now. Look at them bedding down. You wish you give a holler there now, all of you are forming serious there. So I hope you guys got enough tweets for us today. Because, so which of you was in the traffic? I think it was 2 days ago. There was one I think it was Tuesday.
What traffic was that?
The traffic was mad. Like, it was like around Lagos. I had people who spent 5 hours from, there's a friend of mine who spent 5 hours from Yaba to
Osakpa to, well, I quit on my journey at Akedishola and went back home. But it was all the way down to where the Boni camp or cantonment, yes. But at Akedishola, I just changed my mind. But that took me 2 hours plus from Osakpa to Akedishola.
For some reason, for the past 2 Thursdays, there's been traffic in Lagos. For the past 2 Thursdays consecutively. For some reason, it starts, I don't know, I'm not sure if it's at Bega or after Bega, and just goes all the way down the expressway, all the way down to Bagada, all the way down to 3rd Mainland Bridge, just keeps going from there. I'm not sure what's been happening on Thursdays. But
is that in the mornings?
No, in the evenings. I'm not sure why, but every single time I've had to come down and walk.
All right, let's let Mike take a few updates for us, and then we'll come
people
back
now.
and take
I was enjoying your updates. Okay, but then if you are heading to Aja at this point, it will take you about an hour, 50 minutes if you're going to use the tolls. If you're going to use the detour alternative route, I know that's not the kind of route many people use, but hey, the alternative route will take you exactly 2 hours, over 2 hours and a minute via alternative routes if you want to avoid the tolls, right? Now, on 3rd Mainland Bridge, you spend about 38 minutes. The gridlock, the biggest part of the problem on the road, the biggest traffic now at this point is on 3rd Mainland Bridge. It's a Thursday. I don't know why. Normally by this time it hasn't picked up so much, but hey, come on, it's the island. More in mainland, Ikeja, Ogba area, Fagba and all that is not so, busy because it's Thursday, but hey, come on. These other places are quite busy. Now, the return journey, if you are heading from Ajah and you want to get to the mainland, that's a much shorter journey. Via tolls, it'll take you about 1 hour 31 minutes. And if you don't want to use the tolls, extra 10 minutes, it's going to take you 1 hour 43 minutes. Yomi, have you ever had a point where you got to the toll gate, right? And maybe there was no change on you, ATM or something was not there. Has it ever happened to you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's happened once.
And what happened?
And for a funny reason, the guy recognized me and so he saw me and he was like, "Hey, wake up!" I was like, "You got it." You
know what? That guy, he's smart. He's loyal. We appreciate you. Come on, man. So now I have the queue. Next time I'm going there, Ayoko, don't you use to watch me come. Or Benny, you will stand there. But hey, I know those kind of things do happen. And there are sometimes when those attendants really do understand.
Yeah.
Especially when there's like a queue behind you. I think I've gone past the time where I was like, I had to go and let me pass and all that. But hey, come on. Have you ever used, how about the alternative routes? I don't know. Have you ever used the alternative routes?
Oh yeah, I use it all the time. Because sometimes the routes are not bad, but it's usually free. So sometimes when there's a lot of traffic at the toll, just go through the alternative. You find out that it's much faster.
I always thought that's the one that would be more, be more packed up and all of that. Now you have more people trying to use there. But hey, now you say so. All right, let's see what we can do about Fagba area. Now it's not as busy. Because like I said, a number of people from that area are not going to work so early because of the sanitation issues. But from Fagba, say via to Ojodu Bega, it's quite free. It's quite free. The only place where you're going to have a little bit of traffic situation will be around College Road, heading towards Yaya Baton. As though you want to get to Excellence Hotel, that's about where you're going to have some traffic. But then if you're going to use Iju Road is free, but there is a place where there's a blockade. I think that's for road repairs. That's at about Ogunji Road. I think the whole road is blocked. So have you guys seen some improvements in the state of some roads in Lagos? Any of you seen some improvements?
A few of the roads, yeah. For instance, the other time I said that the Akilo Road in Agba was sealed off for like a week, about 10 days, but it's been smoothened out now, so it's quite free now, which is very good.
You know that feeling? You know that feeling when
Abakan is still pretty bad.
You know that feeling when you know there's one particular pothole and you are trying to avoid it, and then you find out that, woo, I went smooth. I'm like, wow, somebody did something there.
So they're doing a lot of work. They're taking advantage of the drier period.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
I was going to say that myself.
Yeah.
Since the rain's cooled off, there's been a lot more work going on, and hopefully they'll get to it.
On this one, I'll give a shout out to the governor. I think the state of emergency on Lagos roads is really, getting into making things happen. That's all we can take on updates in traffic. I'll join you guys now. I remember I said we're saying something about football, right? Hope you guys read up, right?
Yeah.
Joining you guys right now.
When you arrive. Just a quick one, just one or two updates from Twitter before we kick off our gist. So there's Eco Bridge, ascending Eco Bridge at Alaka is blocked this morning due to tankers. So the tankers all through the bridge are taking up both lanes, and so there's just one tiny lane for all cars to pass, and that's not good at all because that's causing a lot of traffic this morning. Heading to CMS through Eco Bridge. So yeah, you might want to take alternative routes because that is pretty busy at this time. So that's from Alaka to the Eco Bridge.
Yeah, it's like there's something more interesting than football at this point, because I don't want the ladies to feel too left out at this one.
What was it? What was it you were going to talk about?
Okay, so you guys talk about Babcock yesterday. It's been trending.
We didn't. But the thing is, we wanted the whole story to play out. First of all, because it's so this is like a warning for young people who feel, that their mobile devices, that they're the latest directors in town. The truth is, it's not everything that you record.
I don't think it's only young people. I think.
Are you sure about that?
I think even.
I think older people are a little more wary of their devices than young people.
So I think this is big, and for a number of reasons, the student has been expelled. But this didn't happen on school grounds, right?
Okay.
This didn't happen on school grounds. I don't know.
We need to break it down for people that don't know what we're talking about.
So what happened to the other student?
Okay, so the other student is a past student of the school that was expelled prior to that time. Yeah. He had mental health issues. In fact, that was a hospital where that tape was recorded.
Are you kidding me?
She went to a hospital, to a mental facility or something to see him. Okay. And this was off school grounds, right? So I don't have an issue with what people want to do private. They are above the age of consent. You know, the issue there had to be that it got into public space, and she has now been expelled. A third-year student.
So he wasn't in school, but she's in school.
Yeah, he was expelled from
he had been expelled earlier. You understand? He had been expelled earlier. Both of them are above the age of consent. There's nothing wrong out there, but the point is that it got into public space, and that's where I think something happened as backstory about somebody trying to throw some spite or something, and then decided to release the video.
So she has problem with someone, but you know how I don't say you know how guys are, but it just so happened that he was proud and excited and shared with his guys, and a girl who has a relationship or so with one of the guys who has a problem with her, got hold of the tape and leaked it.
Okay, once again, I'm just saying.
So she's then expelled for this, so nobody's considering her own mental health?
Yeah, now her mental health
with everything that's going on, like...
I don't know. First of all, I'm going to say it again. It's not everything you record. Whether you're of the age of consent or not, once it's on the internet, it's there for life. Right. This is going to follow her into any other school she goes. True. It's going to follow her when she wants to even find a job. If they Google her name, that is what is going to come up. That's the truth. And the truth is her name has been linked to the school. So if the school chooses that based on her character or based on what she's done, and it doesn't agree with, it doesn't fall in line with their school code or whatever, they have the right to...
The expulsion is confirmed, is official.
Yeah. So I saw a letter.
In the papers.
So there's a letter from the school, an official letter, which some people might have an issue with, but like Titi just said now, if a school has within their tenets that, look, wherever you go, you represent the school. Your character and all of that is part of, the whole package and represents the school and all of that. So, but it's been quite too much of an issue. And what I also wanted to talk about was how patriarchal this society is. Everybody is shaming the lady.
The girl and not the guy.
The guy is not, in fact, the guy is
talking
Superman.
about the guy.
Jude is a Superman, and it's just the society we live in, and it's not just here. It's how
the guy had been expelled. So reasons why I would have gone after the guy first. The guy had already been expelled, meaning he already had a record. Let's put it that way. He was in a facility to deal with these mental health issues, or should we call it a rehab, right? And then he invites the lady over.
Right.
So what are we talking about here? So she finds herself in that situation. I'm going to say finds herself in that situation where someone is, not feeling, good and invites you over and you go and visit, and then one thing leads to another, and then suddenly it's on tape.
You know what? I think we should even check the facility. Because if you allow people to have visiting hours, and if it's a mental health facility, are you even supposed to allow them to have
privacy?
It's not conjugals, man. It's not conjugals.
So the facility even needs to be checked.
At the end of this, look, if after the girl's parents get over this whole trauma, because they are also going to be traumatized. After they get over it, I think the boy should be sued. I also think they should also check the trail of when it left his phone to whoever. That person should also be sued. This can actually be a criminal case. And a case of revenge porn and all of that. So if that is proven, the guy can actually go to jail. Because I mean, there has to be a deterrent for something like this.
That's
in
the
a
point.
situation where you're essentially destroying somebody's life. And if something does happen to the girl, even the next few days, everybody's attacking the girl now. Even the next few days, you hear that she's dead or something like that, then the reverse would now be the case. Oh, why? Somebody should have counseled her, or maybe they should have given her
They're not talking about that
something
now.
stupid.
Yeah,
but now
exactly.
everybody's saying the opposite and all of that.
I
So
think the parents should really, as much as they're upset, which their case is valid, they should also seek mental counsel for her now, because you do not know, she'll probably be hiding herself in her closet, and you don't know what she's thinking at this point.
Very
Anyhow,
true. Very true.
Right, that's all we can take. On the gist this morning, she can take cues from Kim Kardashian. Maybe she might just.
Right.
Right, that's all we can take. We'll take this break now. We're back shortly. Birthday shout out. The Orona Ilaro Festival is an annual festival that was conceived to preserve, uphold, and celebrate the rich cultural heritage of Ilaro. And I have here with me the winner of the 2018-2019 edition of the pageant, Queen Otolomo Olatosimi, who is a National Diploma graduate of the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro. It's great to have you. You're welcome. What's your official title?
Huh?
What's your official title? Sisi
Ilaro.
Sisi Ilaro.
Yes,
2018-2019.
Yes.
Talk to me about it. Did you always want to be a beauty queen? Growing up.
Beauty contest for me didn't come as a passion. Yes, didn't come as a passion. The first time I would involve myself in something like this is my sister came home that day and she was like, okay, beauty contest is coming up and they need more contestants. Okay, will you be available? And then I'm like, okay, let me just give it a try. Okay, are you going to pay for the form first? And then she said, okay, I'll pay for the form. So getting there, when the organizers of the program saw me, they were like, because I was looking very young, I was still an SS student, I was about 15 years old.
That's underage now.
Yes, so because they were in need of more contestants, so I just have to join them. So getting there, one of the organizers said, this one, you cannot win, no. Well, that did not really get at me because for me it's not a passion for me. So, but as God will have it, getting to the stage that day, like the way people were just hyping me, clapping for me, it was overwhelming. And at the end of it, to God be the glory, I won the contest. I even won against my sister. So that was what motivated me that, okay, I think I can do more of this. So that is how it all started. And
okay,
here we are
so
today.
now this Sisi Ilaro is in commemoration of a festival, right?
Yes.
Yeah, can you tell us a bit about that?
Okay, well, I would like to go into a brief history of Ilaro.
Very fast, very fast. Okay,
so
good.
Ilaro is incomplete without making mention of two people. We have Aro and we have Orono. Aro is from Ile-Ife and then he settled in Ilaro. So he gave the name Iluaro. And then we have Orono, who was a warrior then. He came to help the people of Ilaro. He came to save them. So because of that good act, they pay homage to him yearly. They celebrate him yearly. They remember him yearly. And for Orono did not die. You know, normal human, when we grow, we die.
How do you know that?
No, Orono did not die. In his case, he did not die. He only disappeared. Yes.
You saw him disappear?
History now.
That history. He just disappeared like that?
Yes.
That's what they told you?
That is what they told us.
Okay.
Okay, so he disappeared and left a chain. Okay, he left this chain with the promise that whenever Ilaro people are in trouble, they can hold on to this chain and call on his name.
Oh, wow.
And whenever they call on his name, he's going to come to their rescue.
To their aid.
Yes.
My good.
So because of that, they are happy, they are excited because of that. At least if they are in trouble, they have somebody to call upon. So Ilaro is still, Orono is still alive. Orono still exists.
See, now, this was going to happen now. They're not going to collect the crown from her. When she explained this thing, nobody is going to... But we just have to round up now. I wish I had more time to spend with you. So, but when is the next contest holding?
Yeah, the next contest will be holding tomorrow. And please, don't miss it.
Okay.
Don't miss
it.
It
Very
is,
sharp. Just tell us venue.
Yeah, Yewa Frontier Hotel.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, where's
Tickets are available for 5,000.
Okay.
5,000, 100,000, 50,000. You don't want to miss it.
You pay for that
because it is really going to be an amazing experience. Naramali is going to be there, so come, let us come and soapy.
Malians?
Malians.
We don't soapy here. You don't come Nigeria, we don't soapy.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much. It was interesting talking to you.
Yeah.
All right, we have to head over now to our first performer of the day. Tokpe has the scoop on that one.
Oh, so I definitely want to know about the disappearing god. Anias, who we have here, is a singer-songwriter whose hit song, Pala, announced his entrance into the Nigerian music scene. The multidisciplinary artist is also known as the hot boy of Sound Records and has plans to come out with more hits. Hi, Anias.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
Oh, so I love your hair.
Thanks.
So tell me, how long have you been in music?
Yeah, I've been singing since I was 12.
Since you were what?
12 years old.
12, okay.
Yeah. So I started professionally last year.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So tell us about Pala.
Pala is a word I created, just to make people believe in themselves.
Okay, so what does Pala mean?
Pala simply means be yourself.
Be yourself, okay. So is this your first single or you've had other singles before this?
Hey, I've been singing, so this is my first official single.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So we'll definitely want to hear how you blow our minds away with Pala.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Guess they follow me because of currency. God shady line. Baby, go low. Pala they go. Let me see you pala they go. Baby pala they go. Make I see you pala they go. Uncle please, uncle please.
Well, a morning filled with music, fun, and food can never go wrong.
And we are a show of entertainment. So we have food, we have music, we have everything you need, really.
So much more. The show remains Wake Up Nigeria. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks so much, especially if you stay tuned from 6 a.m. My name is Titilayo Onyinson.
And I'm Yomi Okwe. We're streaming live right now on tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Send in those comments. Tell us what you think. How are you feeling today? Talk to us. Use our social media platforms and use that hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC.
Yeah, now of course the app, you should download it both on the Android and iOS stores. And this app lets you watch us from anywhere you are, whether in Nigeria, in Ghana, South Africa, the UK, anywhere you are, you can watch us live.
Yes, indeed. And of course, to take charge of the kitchen this morning, we have someone very interesting. And Mike and Tokwe will eventually let the chef get to work.
At some point.
At some point, you know.
I've always asked, what is this used for? I don't know. What is this used for? For me, it just feels like stand or something. You just used to put something on the.
Oh, goodness me.
That's how I feel. But hey, come on, we have Chef Ayola coming up later on the show.
I'm excited to have her here.
Yep, we're gonna have fun today in the kitchen. Even though.
And it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Looks like it's going to be great. A big shout out to Emmanuel in PR. He's sticking around somewhere, taking photographs of us that he's going to put online.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You know what?
We should drag Emmanuel on.
We should drag him on set one day.
One of these days.
He's the one that takes our pictures and puts them online and makes us look really good. I don't know. Sometimes.
And he's not saying anything. He's quiet. He speaks a lot of pidgin English.
But we have an amazing morning planned for you.
Yeah, we have music coming up very shortly. The second, it's supposed to be the second performance of the day. Fido Clef, music minister, singer, songwriter, joining us on the show.
And from the Miss Deaf Nigeria pageantry, we'll be having some guests tell us about this year's event.
We have an art display for you this morning. Joining us is freelance photographer Agba Ochege. He's going to be displaying some of his works and also discussing them with us.
For Tech Today, we'll be focusing on how to use social media to increase your business revenue. I need something like this myself. Just eBay will be here, joining Mike for a chat. Mike, can I have Just eBay's number?
Only the number?
Only the number. I need to boost my business online. I need some advice.
You could get more if you want.
Wow, Mike, really?
Lastly, we have author Temiloluwa Adesina joining us for a chat on a book, Bantu, the Big Fat Bully. And I believe her husband did the illustrations for the book as well. Talented artist.
Can't wait to talk about that one.
Yeah.
They'll both be here on the show. Great stuff, great stuff.
Also, they're both coming on the show.
So it says the Additionals. You know,
Yeah,
that's
I
what
like
it says
that.
on the
I like
rundown.
that.
Yeah. Should be a really interesting discussion.
Like keeping up with the additionals or something.
I mean, so Mr. Additional, so tell us what it felt like. You know,
You started it already.
Oh yeah. But speaking of, you know, so I noted that on
the family business. I like it. Sorry.
there's this show, The Adebanjos. Who's watched that?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness, it just cracks me up, and it reminds me of a show called Desmond's that used to reign in the early 90s. Yeah, I'm displaying my age here, but that was a West Indian
Oh yeah, Desmond.
show.
No,
Right? And the Adebanjos just remind me of Desmond's and how, you know, you come from the sun to live in the cold. You know, that was the line.
Yeah.
You come from your nice home and you come and live in London, and then you're
I get it.
you're hustling and trying to, you know, exist. It was just really, really great. But now it's online. Now it's on Netflix.
Okay.
So I felt that was really good for
I actually didn't want to cut you, but
yeah.
you want to know that, you know, when you mention your age and all of that, when you say, something they rain, you know, say, this person is an old person. Because now it's trend. You know, when you say, say, that me the rain that time. Say, this person is old. Yeah, that is slang that time. Now it's trend.
Yeah.
Did you know the series she was talking about?
We're not used to watch all that kind of something.
You're a young guy.
Yes.
Wow, really? Really? Wow, always young, ever young. Forever.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Right.
I wanna be.
Wow.
Mike is just extra.
Anyhow, it just feels good that, you know, the international community is embracing a lot of
Yeah.
Nigerian content.
No, but the Adebanjo is well produced. It's
Yeah.
a very good show. I've seen a few episodes as well.
Oh yeah, and then
We have to go to the news now.
sadly.
So Ibrahim is on standby for us.
All right, thank you very much, Yomi. Super Plaza, which is located on Akere Street, Akerele Street in Surulere area of Lagos, was gutted by fire on Wednesday. Emergency responders have put out the fire, but goods worth millions of naira were destroyed. The fire started from the top floor of the one-story building. An eyewitness gives account of the incident.
I thought it was the switch over that normally comes up like that. Then people will come, call the electrician, and they switch it off. Then the next thing, I started hearing people calling names. Bima, 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 Bima. Come. And the moment I came, and I saw it, where is this fire from? I ran outside, went in and brought in the fire stuff. Then we got upstairs. When we got upstairs, I first of all pumped the second one. And I now find out that I started feeling sensation on my feet. I said, what is happening? So I called the manager in charge. He now came. We thought is what we can bring down to stand still. But when the thing got out of hand, they've been calling 112 to come over. And
Well, the Nigeria Governors Forum held its 7th meeting this year at its secretariat in Abuja. On the agenda was the 4th Istanbul Public-Private Partnership Summit and how states can leverage on these to build infrastructure. The Vice Chairman of the Governors Forum, Aminu Tambo, briefed his colleagues on the outcome of the trip to Seattle in the United States to meet Bill Gates, who is a major sponsor of the campaign to eradicate polio in Nigeria. Another issue deliberated upon was the federal government's deduction for the budget support facility that was given to states through the central bank in 2017. And public servants and contractors who have defaulted in the implementation of constituency projects initiated by federal lawmakers would have the law to contend with. This is as President Muhammad Buhari has ordered the probe of those who failed to judiciously spend the over 1 trillion naira voted for such projects in the last 10 years. President Buhari also called on the National Assembly to hasten work on the Special Crimes Court Bill, which it says would tackle corruption cases such as these. The president added that the ICPC report on constituency projects tracking initiative confirmed the fears that people at the grassroots had not benefited from the huge money that the National Assembly members had collected for the project. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has reached to President Muhammad Buhari's assertion that there is very little to show for the more than 1 trillion naira allocated to constituency projects over the past 10 years. Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila described the comment as a breach of legislators' collective privilege. The Speaker blamed the ICPC for what he calls misinformation. Outside Nigeria, U.S. Ambassador Gordon Sondland has told the impeachment inquiry that President Donald Trump directed pressure on Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden. In response, the U.S. president pointed to testimony where it said he wanted nothing from Ukraine. Mr. Sondland also implicated U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. He also said the president wanted diplomacy with Ukraine being led by his personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani. The inquiry could see President Trump removed from office, but only if the House of Representatives impeaches him and the Senate convicts him. Mr. Sondland repeated several times that while he believed the military aid to Ukraine to be contingent upon 2 investigations, namely the 2016 U.S. election and Burisma, a Ukrainian gas company, he was not aware until later that Burisma employed the son of former Vice President Joe Biden. The link between Burisma and Biden is central to the Democratic push to impeach the president. As Democrats say, Trump, or President Trump, exploited his power to hurt a domestic political rival. And that's the news update for this hour. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. In the year 1996, the undeclared every 21st of November World TV Day. Now I have a guest here with me, Bumi Dikpo Adedoyin. Now she is from the Department of Mass Communication, Lagos State Polytechnic, and she will be discussing the role of TV in the society and in our lives this morning. And of course, we're glad to have you join us here, ma'am, from the Department of Communication. The role of TV, the fact that this is a special period in our lives. You know, when we're growing up in the 70s and 80s, there was probably just one station that you could watch, and you had to wait till 4 p.m. for it to start, and then probably shut down at maybe 11 p.m. But now, things have changed completely. Yeah. And so the TV is playing a really big role in the lives of young people and even children. So talk to us about why this is so important.
Yeah, talking about television, we must identify that it's one of the most popular media or medium of communication and information dissemination. So the role of television, we cannot really overemphasize it in our lives, in the society. To start with, television is a companion to everyone. It's a big companion that is not replaceable in any way. You know, it has the function of providing information, entertainment, and education. Let's look at it from the angle of information. People need to be kept abreast of what is happening around them. Traffic information, hard news, and what have you. The television has been able to bridge this gap, has been able to connect people with events, with activities that affect them as the masses. Apart from that, the educational role, television has, you know, fill in the gap. When we come in the area of education, formal education, informal education, any way you want it, television has really done greatly well in this area. So we now see that apart from that, economically, television has also helped. Without television, where are we going to have brands like Coca-Cola, MTN, mention them, multinationals? Where would they place today? Without television, event like Olympics, World Tournaments, where are we going to have it today? So you now discover that education has done a lot, you know, has done a lot to both individuals, governments, and organizations. Without television, how are we going to get government policies? How are we going to get to know what it is? Thank God, like you said earlier on, before 1990, we had just NTA, and you have to switch 4, 6, and all that. But since then, that we have the industry elaborated, privatized, we have more than enough stations to watch.
So let's talk about education, because I think it's one of the big areas that people talk about when it comes to TV and how it affects children, especially. Do you think enough is being done by way of programming that is targeted at children, especially in education, or does it look like it's leaning more towards entertainment nowadays? Because a lot of times what you just see is things that can make people excited.
Exactly. There's a problem. That's one of the major problems we have in the educational industry. And I hope media operators will take this opportunity to revisit a lot of things. We don't have enough educational content. We don't have it. Whether as formal education or informal education, we don't have it. There's more to entertainment. There's more to sports. While education is suffering. This shouldn't be. All right? When I was growing up, there are quite a number of things we learn on TV. We still have them, but one would have expected that in the last 60 years that we have television in Nigeria, it should have improved tremendously. But the ratio is nothing to write home about.
Yeah,
so media content, media providers should look more into it, how to develop education. Because with education on TV, our culture will be sustained. And that's where we're having problems. Most of our cultural beliefs are going to eviction gradually. In the next 10 years, what do we expect? There's going to be a problem. So more needs to be done in the area of education at all levels.
There are one or two people that I've heard, I've also read in the newspapers who have said that the reason why a lot of content providers and TV owners would shy away from educational content is because it doesn't give money. And so they're encouraging maybe the private sector and even government to see what they can do in investing in educational programming. Do you think that that is the way to go as well?
Exactly. That's one of the reasons why we are celebrating World Television Day. To renew government's commitments, advertiser commitments into supporting television. You see, money is paramount.
Yes.
So where there's no money, how do you run the station? Government needs to invest in this area. The number of educational content that can be brought on TV, but who sponsors it? So government has a role to play. Multinationals have roles to play. Private individuals who are well-to-do have the role to play. They should take this opportunity to support educational development via programs, sponsorship, and what have you. So when that is done, we will have a lot of success to record in the area of education.
I like what you said about culture, the fact that a lot of the culture is being lost. Because I remember growing up, we used to watch a lot of programming that had to do with culture and storytelling in traditional languages. Apart from Tales of Moonlight that was in English, there were all the traditional songs that we used to hear on TV, and not just on Sunday evenings either. It was different days of the week. There were many things that you could learn about Nigeria, about the country from TV. And so that investment in culture, it looks like that is also being eroded by foreign content. And again, in the area of culture, are there cultural organizations and cultural bodies and even educational institutions that can also provide content in that area as well?
Well, I may not have statistics now, but that's the next level anywhere in the world. Most countries are not thinking about digitization again, but it's still a problem in Nigeria. We have missed three deadlines, 2012, 2015, 2017, to transit from analog to digitization. When we have digitization, that's one of the things going to give to us. We're going to have a lot of programs. Individuals will be encouraged, government will be encouraged. We're going to have more than enough stations. We can have a particular station that is dedicated to cultural things, cultural training, and what have you. So that is one of the things, that's one of the reasons we need to fast track the process of digitization in Nigeria. Because if not, the culture we're talking about, nobody may really want to talk about it. Look at radio. We have women radio, we have sports radio, and what have you. If you have that on TV too, digitization, we're going to have a channel that will say, this is what we are committed to. Odua Group, this is what we are committed to. Yoruba people, this is what we are committed to do. And you know it. Last week, I took my son to the hospital, and the doctor told me that if my boy will not speak Yoruba, he will not attend to him. I was embarrassed. I had to be doing the interpretation. I felt so embarrassed. I felt ashamed, I must confess to you. But it's not my fault. I have my role to play. What about school? What about media content they're exposed to? So digitization is the order of the day. If the Nigerian government will fast track that and let's have that, we have more than enough stations that we take care of things like that and they will not be eroded by Western programs.
Wow. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been very enlightening and educative for me as well. And hopefully the right people are listening and we can start making changes as well. It's World Television Day. And thank you so much, man, for joining us.
I need to add this, please.
So she wants to add one thing.
At the Department of Mass Communication, Lagos State Polytechnic, today is World TV Day. We're having a symposium.
Okay.
We're talking about television in the digital age, implications for Nigeria. So we're using this opportunity to invite people to be part of it. We have speakers from the industry to enlighten students, to enlighten other people about the essence of digitization.
And it's taking place today?
Today. 11 p.m., 11 a.m. The program will kick off.
All right. Thank you so much, man, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Right now, TT is on standby with another special performance this morning from Fido Clef.
Thank you, Yomi. World TV Day, who would have thought? Now it's time for us to take a performance. Emmanuel Komolafe, a.k.a. Fido Clef, is a gospel minister, worship leader, and songwriter. Now he's also a performing artist whose love for the gospel is so evident in what he does. Now he's performed on several platforms alongside Samuel Okposo, Kennison Brown, and many others. Today, he's here to perform for us, looking all fly and fresh this morning. How far?
I'm good.
Use your mic, use your mic, use your mic. Yeah?
I'm good.
Fantastic. So you ready to perform for us?
We're ready.
What's our genre for today?
Contemporary.
Contemporary?
Yep.
All right. So, on a Thursday morning, maybe people are taking it slow. Are we going to boost their mood this morning today?
We're going to boost them up today.
All right.
Shake your body.
He sounds set to perform for us. And, well, hey, some people just need that extra little boost this morning. Let me let you take it away.
Okay.
I am super excited to be in the kitchen this morning because I have Korede Spaghetti with me. No, your name is interesting. Why Korede Spaghetti?
Okay, I started as a food entrepreneur in the University of Lagos.
Okay.
But I got popular making very amazing spaghetti.
Okay.
So whenever anybody wants to come to buy food, they tell, have you gone to that Korede guy that sells spaghetti? And the name became Korede Spaghetti.
Korede Spaghetti. Okay, Korede Spaghetti, what are we making today?
Okay. This is an original. It's called the suya rice.
Okay, so we can do Korede suya rice.
Korede suya rice.
After we enjoy the rice. Okay, so now walk me through our ingredients for our suya rice.
This is seasoning.
Okay.
And obviously this is onions.
Okay.
We're still going to wash them and clean them better.
Of course.
And this is one of our spices. We call it stardust.
Stardust, okay.
Do you want to taste?
Eventually. Okay, so what's it made of?
It's different spices, herbs and spices mixed together in different proportions to make amazing.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So,
and then
we have vegetables.
Okay.
We have bell pepper and bunny pepper.
Okay.
This is called the dark sauce.
The dark sauce.
And this is white.
White, okay.
We have sausage.
Okay.
And the most important ingredient for making the suya rice is this beef chunk. Sometimes it's called a brisket. It was cooked for 4 hours.
4 hours, okay. Okay, so what are we going to start with? We have water there
for... Water. The water is going to get to boil.
Of course.
For us to make our rice.
Okay.
Tender a bit before we stir fry.
Okay, so this are we going to chop this or we're going to chop this? Okay, yes, please. So, this is interesting. So now this is going to take approximately how many minutes?
15 minutes to make one.
Okay.
So
this is used for like home delicacies or use it for parties?
It can be used anywhere. It's okay. The idea behind suya rice is that the suya is the most popular street food in Nigeria. Oh. So our idea is also to infuse class into it.
Class, okay. So if you're watching and you want to try the suya rice at home, you have to bake this or grill it for her.
This had to go through 3 different types of grilling options. And the first one is that grilling is divided into 3.
Okay.
We have the convection, and the higher.
Okay, so now for people at home
I should break down in
Yes, the one that they can use at their equipment at home to do.
The convention is when you use water, oil to cook. And the connection is when you cook directly on the grill, and it's also like oven. And the IR is when you direct it's called the indirect grilling.
Oh, okay.
So these has to go through the three processes.
Three processes. So if at home you want to use your oven.
Honestly, it's also for you to make your beef grilled.
Oh, okay.
For
before people be wondering that, Corey, what are you telling us?
I know, it's...
I'm so excited I'm the only one with you today because people like Mike, trust me, you don't want to meet him. You don't. Just stick with me.
I think I met Mike before. This is not my first time. Mike is my guy.
I am thinking. I'm here trying to tell you that I should be your guy.
No, you're my guy.
Correct. Okay.
Thank you.
So let me see. So this is for the rice. What is this for?
This is where I'm going to stir fry the rice. This is where I'm making the rice. But I had to tender the rice first.
Okay,
so I
of
need
course.
to put the water to boil first.
Okay.
Before the rice is added.
You know some people usually put oil in their rice. Do you do that?
No, there's no need for that. Since another major part of the food is going to be oil. The reason why they put oil is if the rice is going to stay for a bit.
Okay.
So avoid it to stick together.
Yeah.
So there's no need for oil.
Okay. All right.
Some add for taste though.
Sorry?
Some people add for taste.
Taste, yeah.
So our beef is ready.
Okay.
Wow, I wish you can try this.
Oh, yeah.
Do you?
I won't complain. It's free tasting. Mike, I'm so sorry. Can you see this, Mike? I just really want Mike to have a close look.
So, we have our beef done.
And this took you 4 hours?
4 hours to cook properly because it's thick. It's not flat. If it's flat, it means it cooks quicker. This is thick. For it to cook inside, you can see that it's well done.
It is well done.
So it took 4 hours to make.
So does this have your special spice?
Yeah. Everything. I make 80% of my spice.
Yourself?
Myself.
Okay. So, and this, do we have, let me see, I can see turmeric. Is turmeric here?
No, not turmeric.
Oh, okay. Let me guess again. Curry?
No.
Aren't you going to just, this is the point where I said, let me just help you.
So, but the thing is that what we're going to do, it's 100% Nigerian. Everything is nothing foreign aside from the rice that is basmati.
Okay.
So that's all.
But of course, we can use our local rice to
100%.
make this.
100%. Right. It's better when you use a long grain.
Okay.
But the long grain is better. It comes out better with the long grain.
With the long grain. Oh, you mean in the look comes out better, but the taste?
Yes, the taste is still the same.
It's still the same. I mean, you know we're promoting using our.
I know, yes.
Nigeria.
But we have long grains in Nigeria.
We have long grains, so great stuff.
Make rice. Oh, sorry, I don't want to do
that. Of course. Okay, so are we putting this on the fire, or we're just keeping this for now?
Keeping all of this for now. I'm just prepping.
Okay.
So.
Keep this away. So I see some plantain here.
Yes.
What are we doing with the plantain?
It's an addition to the food.
Okay.
We're going to fry the plantain.
We're going to fry?
Yes, so that's what we're doing.
Oh, okay. Ooh, this is going to be very interesting.
I bet you, ma'am. It's going to work.
But this is not your first time making this?
No, this is not my first time making this. This is not my first time here too.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we're going to continue with our prepping while we have Yomi take a very interesting interview.
Yes, indeed. Pretty interesting. And 20 years, for 20 years, the deaf pageantry went on in the world without the participation of Nigeria. And we'll wonder why. Of course, this year is going to be a bit different because of the support of the Edwin NGO. Now, Maria Okese from Rivers won the maiden edition of the program and is going to be representing Nigeria at the World Pageant in Prague next year. And we have people from joining us from the organization here in the studio this morning. Thank you so much. I've got Dr. Tolu here and also Bayo, who is the interpreter for the winner. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so let's talk about Miss Deaf. You know, it's sometimes people don't want to talk about certain things. They don't want to participate. And for 20 years, this has been happening internationally. But in Nigeria, nothing was said about it until this year. So why did you decide that this was so important and we needed to do it and we needed to participate?
Okay, it's a very long story, but I'll just cut it short. I found myself in a deaf school in 2010 to speak. And I found out a lot of things were happening that we know nothing about. So I think the deaf word is a different word. You won't have an idea. You don't know they are deaf. You just know that there are deaf people around. But you won't really understand what is going on in their community. They have their own world. They have a lot of challenges. You talk of rape, talk of HIV, talk of addiction issues. They are so massive, right? So people are going through a lot, considering our perception about people living with disabilities in this part of the world. Even though we said we are making progress, we are doing a lot, but the truth is we are not there. You know, people have a lot of bias against these people. So, I mean, people have kids that have these challenges and they just drop them and forget about them. So this made them to be susceptible to a lot of challenges, you know, and I found out about that and it broke my heart that day. I couldn't sleep and I was like, people really don't know. We just know we see deaf people around. You really don't know that there's problem, you know, they are going through a lot, you know. So I decided to go online and Google how to help the deaf. And that was how I came about Miss Deaf Ward. And it might interest you to know that Miss Deaf Ward, like you said, has been going on for 20 years. But this was in 2010. I found out in 2010. And I talked to I have 1 or 2 deaf friends. Then I spoke with them and I got the franchise, you know, to host Miss Deaf Nigeria. I even got the franchise for Miss Deaf Africa because as at that time, no country in Africa has ever
was doing it. And this was 10 years ago. So why did it take you 10 years?
Oh, okay. So that was why I said it's a long story. I mean, I went through a lot. You know, like all my life was, for about 4 years of my life, between 2011 to 2014, was dedicated to Miss Deaf.
Wow.
Now, so people that knows me now, people don't really, people know me a bit for something else. People don't know deaf. They don't know me with Miss Deaf. I've done so much. You know, in fact, in 2012, Miss Deaf International, because there's Miss Deaf World and there's Miss Deaf International. Just you have here, and it might interest you to know that the Miss Deaf World is actually bigger than the hearing pageant, the Miss World Agbani one. Yes, it is, because it's a charity pageant and a lot of institutions are committed to it. So I was struggling with it. That's just the answer to your question. For 4 years, I was struggling. Miss Deaf International visited Nigeria, and because when they saw my struggle, they were like, why are you not making progress? Every year they kept sending invitation, but we couldn't make it. We were looking for money for flights. I say I have to, most time I have to, you know, get passports for them because they don't even have passports. You know, get passports for the deaf people, take them to the embassy. That cost me a lot of money doing all of that, you know, because we were in Port Harcourt, so most time we fly to Abuja.
And now, of course, we're making some progress.
So we are making progress.
Well.
We actually met an NGO who supported us this year, and then we're able to host Miss Deaf Nigeria.
So I'm going to come back to you in a bit. Of course, we'll talk about how people who are watching us now and corporate bodies can also still support the organization as well. But I want to talk to the winner of Miss Deaf. So is it called Miss Deaf or?
It's Miss Deaf.
Miss Deaf, okay. Yeah. So to talk to us about how you feel about winning this competition.
I feel great. I feel very happy for winning the crown as first Miss Deaf Nigeria. And
you're going to be representing Nigeria in Prague in the next few months. So talk to us about what your expectations are as you go out, leave the country to go represent us in Europe.
I'm planning to go to Miss Deaf World in Prague in 2020. and I'm confident that I will bring the crown home.
Yeah. We're excited, and we expect that you will bring back the crown, and we're going to support you all the way. So how has your family responded to your winning this competition and representing Nigeria?
Wow. Though growing up, it was not very easy. But when the family saw that I won the crown, my family saw I won the crown, they were very happy. They congratulated me. And then they saw that really there is ability in disability.
Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations. And just 30 seconds, because we're rounding off now, Dr. Tolu, tell us how we can support.
Okay, so we need support for Maria to go. Maria, okay, she's Miss Rivers. We've been trying to get the attention of Rivers State government to see if there's something they could do for her. That's very important. And we are looking for support to help her to travel to Prague. And of course, she has a pet project attached to her, because it's not just about the pageant. She has a pet project, you know, so it's a vocational center for the deaf. So we're also looking for support to see that come to life. And of course, we are planning Miss Deaf Nigeria for 2020. We are still expecting support to make all these dreams reality.
Wow, thank you so much for joining us on the program, and hopefully the right people are listening and will also here at TVC try to provide the kind of support that you need as well. Thank you so much for joining us, and congrats to the winners as well. We're going to take a break now and be back with more on Wake Up Nigeria.
As the popular saying goes, third time is the charm.
Yeah, it's the third hour of the show, your favorite breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria.
Things only promise to get better, so I hope you plan to stick around till the very end. By the way, nice one with that interview.
Oh yeah,
must have been interesting.
I wish it was longer, you know, just slightly longer, because I had a lot of other questions to ask her. But it was quite interesting having someone interpret, and then you could also see her passion and her excitement as she was, you know, trying to express herself. Very
Goodness
nice.
me,
Very
the
nice.
job of an interpreter. If you missed it, you'll probably see it on YouTube in a bit. Speaking of you know, things you'll be seeing in a bit. You're going to be seeing me. My name is Titilayo Oyinson.
And I'm Yomi Okwe. You can watch us live right now, tvcentertainment.tv, and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Yes, indeed. Those comments, send them in with the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC, and use our TVC app to watch us as long as you download it from both Android or iOS stores.
Yeah, the rest of this morning, we have a bunch of things coming up. Just eBay is a sales guru and a self-motivated sales and marketing consultant. She's going to be joining Mike later on the tech to talk about how to increase your business revenue online, right?
Indeed, indeed.
Online revenue in business.
Then we'll be having a chat with freelance photographer Agba Ochege. Now, his craft and the drive he has for it, we're finding out what pushes him. Mike, sit down now. It's only glitter. The beauty queen was sitting right there, and
she was
there was glitter. She was glittering. She was glinting.
So what was all that noise you were making in the kitchen? Like, I don't understand.
If you're trying to beg me directly.
Wow.
Say, Tokwe, please, I'd like to have some breakfast.
Was that steak that you guys were slicing?
Oh, it was juicy.
Wow.
It was really juicy. Wow. And he says it's his signature sauce, spices. I'm planning to steal it.
Wow. I don't think, even when, you know, there are some different ingredients some people use and they keep it to themselves. Even if you find out the ingredient, the method they use, you can't exactly get it. You can't get it right, but it looks really, really great.
It does. It really does. I mean, some restaurants outside here, you'd pay a good 7,500 or 10,000 to have a nice steak like that. And I ate it for free.
Okay, so today is World Television Day, and I don't know who remembers when you had to wait the whole day for the TV station to open at 4.
I actually do.
I do.
And then there was only 1 or 1.5 hours of children's programming, after which
everything else is news.
everything until 11 p.m. when there's a movie, which is not even every day. So
late night movie.
Yeah, late night movie.
But then sometimes there were these like Telemundo shows that would come on maybe like around like 8:39.
That was later.
If you were old enough, they would let you watch
later.
it.
No, my family, it was a problem because 9 is news. So all I heard about these shows were in school when everybody's talking about it.
Wow.
And I'm just looking like, is it that interesting?
Okay, so I just remember Paloma and Wild Rose.
You guys are talking about more recent.
No,
what we remember was, what we're talking about was Checkmate, Village Headmaster. So if you had a Thursday at 8 p.m. was the only time you watch soaps.
Yeah, Thursday.
In Nigeria. So Thursday, 8 p.m., there was either Checkmate, Village Headmaster. And then on Sundays, you had some other program. On Fridays, you had Ripples, you know, things like that.
And then there was Willy Willy. Willy Willy was around.
Uncle Yum Yum, Auntie Titi.
Oh, wow.
Brother Mike.
As in Bra Mike.
It's
Bra Mike. It's not Brother Mike.
Pro Mike.
Anyway, World Television Day, the lady that came earlier, she was saying, look, we need to do more of education on TV, less of entertainment, but it requires investment. So that's important.
Okay. Hopefully someone out there is watching and willing to invest in education on TV. Now we have to take the news. Ibrahim, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Titi. Super Plaza, which is located on Akerele Street in Surulere area of Lagos, was gutted by fire on Wednesday. Emergency responders have put out the fire, but goods worth millions of naira were destroyed. The fire started from the top floor of the one-story building. An eyewitness gives account of the incident.
The switch over that normally comes up like that, then people will come, call the electrician, and they switch it off. Then the next thing, I started hearing people calling names. Bima, 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 Bima. Come, 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 come. And the moment I came, and I saw it, where is this fire from? I ran outside, went in, and brought in the fire stuff. Then we got upstairs. When we got upstairs, I first of all pumped one, pumped the second one, and I now find out that I started feeling sensation on my feet. I said, what is happening? So I called the manager in charge. He now came. We thought is what we can bring down to stand still. But when the thing got out of hand, they've been calling 112 to come over. And
now, the Nigeria Governors Forum held its 7th meeting this year at the Secretariat in Abuja. On the agenda was the 4th Istanbul Public-Private Partnership Summit and how states can leverage on this to build future infrastructure. The Vice Chairman of the Governors Forum, Aminu Tambo, briefed his colleagues on the outcome of the trip to Seattle in the United States to meet Bill Gates, who is a major sponsor of the campaign to eradicate polio in Nigeria. Another issue deliberated upon was the federal government's deduction for the budget support facility that was given to states through the central bank in 2017. Now, public service and contractors who have defaulted in implementation of constituency projects initiated by federal lawmakers would have the law to contend with. This is as President Muhammad Buhari has ordered the probe of those who failed judiciously spend the over 1 trillion naira voted for such projects in the last 10 years. President Buhari also called on the National Assembly to hasten work on the Special Crimes Court Bill, which it says will tackle corruption cases such as these. The president added that the ICPC report on constituency project tracking initiative confirmed the fears that people at the grassroots had not benefited from the huge money that the National Assembly members had collected for the project. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has reacted to President Buhari's assertion that there is very little to show for the more than 1 trillion naira allocated to the constituency project over the past 10 years. Speaker Femi Bajabiamila described the comment as a breach of legislators' collective privilege. The Speaker blamed the ICPC for what he calls misinformation. And about 1,618 people lost their lives to road crashes between December 2018 and February 2019. According to a report released by the Corps, the incidents arose from several factors, including overspeeding, drunk driving, amongst others. The year 2019 came with its own set of challenges for the Federal Road Safety Corps. According to a report on traffic road traffic crashes released by the Corps, over 21,577 people were involved in road crashes involving cars, minibuses, motorcycles, trucks, tankers and trailers. Between December 2018 and February 2019, the Federal Road Safety Corps says that at least 1,618 people have lost their lives through road accidents. Also between January of 2019 and June this year, the Corps said it recorded no fewer than 2,699 deaths as a result of road crashes. This is the Corps aims to tackle through its several initiatives. To achieve its primary objectives as a road safety agency was the focus of the 4th quarterly retreat of the Zone RS2 headquarters of the Federal Road Safety Corps, comprising Lagos and Ogun State Division, with the theme Federal Road Safety Corps Operations in Public Perspective. It was an avenue for the Corps to assess its quarterly performance and dialogue on how to improve on quality service delivery. As an agency saddled with the task of making the highway safe for motorists and other road users, as well as checking roadworthiness of vehicles, the FRC says it's embarking on several programs and initiatives with the year drawing to an end. And as the news today on Wake Up Nigeria, stay tuned.
So a lot of interesting cooking has been going on as Korede Spaghetti is making us his special suya rice. And what are we doing with the plantain now?
Okay, well, we're going to fry the plantain. It's supposed to be part of the meal.
Oh, it's part of the meal, okay.
Yeah, we'll fry it separately. It's part of the design for the
food. Okay, okay. So now for people who are just joining us, now let's walk them through what we're doing here.
Okay.
So we parboiled our rice.
Parboiled our rice.
Okay, and then we have our suya.
Suya.
That took us didn't take us, yeah. It took him 4 hours to prepare, and trust me, it is super tasty.
Thank you.
And we have the diced sausage, okay. And your special
vegetable with diced.
Oh, the vegetable, and this?
The stardust.
The stardust that he's not going to tell us what it comprises.
And this is bell pepper.
Oh, okay, the bell peppers, and you have seasoning there, and onions. But I can see that you've diced it already. Okay. So now what we're doing next is the plantain. Okay, so we're just going to fry it. We're not putting it in the rice, of course.
No, we're not putting it in frying.
Okay.
So we have to wait for the oil to get hot.
Hot, of course.
Still very to test the hotness.
Okay, so for people who are at home, we'll probably have the ingredients go on screen now so that if you want to get it down to prepare for yourself, for your loved ones, for your family, and have a suya, is it suya jollof or just a suya special?
It's a suya rice.
Suya rice, oh, okay. Oh, it's not jollof. So it's going to come out white, green?
No, it's going to come out a bit orange, but not...
Oh, it's orange?
Yeah, it depends. Depends on how the spice work.
Oh, okay.
And it's usually between orange and brown.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so that's it.
Oh, okay. So now, the amount of suya is just dependent on the individual?
On how much you want it, how much you like your beef.
Okay, so is the rice going to taste all suya, or is just because we have suya in it?
It's going to taste all suya.
So how do we achieve it? Help us small.
But I don't know how to say that. Okay, you can buy your regular suya spice anyway.
Okay.
And try it with it. But this we make ourselves.
This will make yourself. Okay. Okay, so the other pan, what's going to go in there?
This is where the rice is. This is where the rice is going to. So we're prepping the oil once we off. So we fry all the things we need to fry before we add the rice.
Oh, okay. So what are we frying first?
The first thing to go in is always the onions, then the beef.
Oh, okay.
Then we add the bell pepper, then the rice, the sausage, and the vegetable.
Now, you know some people like their vegetables
very crunchy. That's what's always last.
Always the last. You know, and then some others, like I like to put mine at the tail end, like probably when the food is even ready. But in this case, do we still do same?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah,
okay.
When it's done.
When it's done. Oh, okay. So why did you put onions before you put the plantain?
Okay, this is to test the temperature of the
Not for any special seasoning.
Not for any special seasoning.
Okay.
Because I can't just pour in plantain, so it's not going to be soggy. So it's not going to drag in a lot of oil. Oh. So that's why.
Okay, so now in the case where we do not want to use rice for the suya, what other kind of food can we use for the suya?
You can use spaghetti. You can basically
Or just...
Yes, spaghetti, macaroni.
Beans. No. I'm just trying that. We can have soya beans.
Soya beans.
You can
makes
try
a
it.
lot of sense.
You see?
No, it doesn't.
It does. We're going to have soya beans.
Okay, so let's start.
Okay,
I
so
think
let's start putting
the
things
plantain
in
is good. The oil is good. It's
Okay.
already dancing. So let's see if it's going to fry. No, it's still low.
Still quite low.
Still quite low, but it's going to come up.
Of course.
It's going to come up. It's going to come up. So and then
Okay.
let's try. Let's see if our oil for the rice is ready too.
Yeah.
So we pour this down.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
that's better. It's ready. Can you hear this sound?
Yes.
What does it sound like?
It sounds like the oil is ready.
No, good food.
Good food. Oh, okay. I get that. It sounds like good food.
So, cool. So while we prepare,
So when do we get to put this sauce?
it's one of the mix to make it moist.
Oh, okay.
Not to be too dry. So that's how we work with it. Can I?
Of course. You can.
So,
Oh, now this looks colorful.
you're
Very
not,
colorful.
you're not ready yet, ma'am.
I'm not. Oh, I'm not ready.
Yes.
Okay. Now, for people who do not particularly like a lot of oil in their food, is it if you put minimal oil, does it still work, or you have to have a lot of
when
oil?
you had minimum oil, there is a small skill I can teach.
Okay.
The water from the rice
Yes.
is starchy.
Yeah.
And after you parboil, you keep some of it
Okay.
to make it mix
Oh.
instead of oil.
Instead
For those
of
that don't
oil.
like oil.
Oh, okay, okay. So that's a healthy alternative.
Yes, ma'am. But I like oil.
You like oil,
So
but then of course you have to put other people into consideration.
I know, but this is not. It won't be so oily.
Okay. So
Oh,
even
I need
after
to-
you cook the soya for 4 hours, you still have to fry it, or it's
Yes.
not necessary?
No, you need to fry it. It needs to be the base of the food.
Okay.
So you need to allow the other things, the other ingredients that are inside the food to soak into the flavor of the meat. So that's what we're doing right now. As long as the beef is not cooked, it's ready.
Okay.
But we need it to be part.
Part of. Okay, so while we are digging into the full process of the food, we have Mike, who is going to be having a very interesting interview, and we will be right back.
Tokwe, you should be careful there. Maybe that thing is happening there. Anyways, it's Thursday, and you know Thursday we have our tech discussions now. You know, social media is whatever you want it to be in your hands. Now, it is a tool that you can use whichever way to increase your business revenue, and of course, it could just be a plaything for you. Now, Justy Ibu is here to tell us how to increase your business revenue via social media. She's a sales guru and a certified sales and marketing consultant. She runs 3 major businesses and recently launched a tech company that is revolutionizing content creation and distribution in Africa and beyond. It's great to have you, Justy. You are
Very
welcome.
much. Thank you very much.
So,
Thank
social
you.
media. When was the first time you got on social media? Can you remember?
So I think the first time I ever stumbled on social media was when I was in university, but I didn't take
Okay.
it seriously.
Okay.
I was not interested in joining. I just knew something existed, but I mean, I just didn't pay attention.
How did the interest develop? How did it start?
So actively, about 4 to 5 years ago, I started looking for more.
Okay.
As a business owner or as an individual, there comes a certain time in your life where you feel greater is calling, like something else
It's
needs to be
pushing-
out
yes,
there.
yes, there's
And even if you
much
cannot
more.
deploy it physically at the moment, what avenues exist for you to drive that greater, whatever it is to you? And that's how mine developed. I had a baby and I was at home for 4 months.
Okay.
And I said to myself, I'm not going to sit at home for 4 months just nursing a
Just
baby.
doing nothing, okay.
Yeah, nursing a baby, right?
Okay.
I needed to create something else that would augment my job. I have a day job. And so that's how I started looking for all the different alternatives that exist, and that's how we stumbled on social media.
Social media, making revenue. So, which was the first network of choice? Which did you start with? Which platform?
So I've always been on Facebook for friendship. Everybody is on Facebook, friends and all of that.
And all
But
that.
when I wanted to do business with social media, I went on Instagram.
On Instagram for you. Okay, so we're going to major on Instagram?
Yes.
Today,
We can talk about all of them because it cuts across all kinds of platforms.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, so but then let's since you major on Instagram, let's start with Instagram. So Instagram, photo sharing app and all that, a lot of people use it for fun. But then we know that influencers have started using Instagram and all the rest to make things happen and push things happen. How can one generate revenue via Instagram? So
basically, Instagram has 2 billion users, 2 billion plus actually.
Okay.
And that's a marketplace that you cannot ignore. Okay. For what it is worth, whether people are playing with it or doing whatever it is with it. Okay. Instagram, like you said earlier, social media, like you said earlier, is whatever you want it to be in your hands.
Okay.
So my first goal, when I always tell people, is when you're going into a platform, ask yourself, what's obtainable here? What are different people that you know, what are they doing with this platform?
This platform, okay.
What's your own objective for going there? If you want to be someone who just wants to share photos, fine. But when you start sharing photos and you begin to notice that people are making money sharing the same photos you're sharing just for fun, then you start asking yourself, what are you leaving on the table? So my first thing is go into social media with a very clear objective. If you want to have fun, that's totally fine.
That's fine.
But while you want to have fun, you need to understand that there are people who are maximizing the same platform, for so much revenue. And so that's the first thing. Once you have that goal sorted, then you now begin to ask yourself, what do I need to learn to be able to use this platform effectively. to my advantage?
And what are those things?
So number one, the first thing is identify what you want to project. If it's a business, let me use my business as an example.
Okay, yes,
I teach people how to sell.
All right.
Whether you're a startup or you're a budding entrepreneur.
Okay.
And the first thing, if you want to sell using social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is you find yourself, is what value do you bring to the table?
What value do you bring to the table?
Yes, people don't buy products, people buy experiences.
Okay.
And one of the mistakes I see a lot of startup entrepreneurs make is they commoditize their product.
What do you mean by that?
Meaning it's about, I want to sell this cup. This cup is 5 naira, or this cup is 50 naira. Not highlighting the experience the end user wants to get by using that cup.
Okay,
so what you should be selling is the experience, the result, the transformation for what it is worth. So if I'm saying I'm selling a branded cup, my face is on the cup, I'm not buying a cup, I'm buying some level of class or some level of statements that I carry a cup that carries my face around.
Face on it. Okay, so it should be clear.
It should be clear.
Don't commoditize the product, as you said, sell the experience.
Yes.
Wonderful. What next?
So that's the value proposition. Once you get the value proposition, you now need to position yourself as a brand.
All right.
People are attracted to brands. People are not attracted to anybody who just wants to sell. So as business owners, you go to their business page, you see them posting pictures of their products morning, afternoon, night. It becomes a marketplace. You're forgetting that this social media platform is called social for a reason.
Okay.
People want to connect with the business before the business.
So that means that I should not just focus entirely on only my products.
That's what it is, because once you do that, any customer who is not looking to buy product doesn't have any business coming to your page. I don't go on social media every day looking for where to spend money. I go on social media because I'm looking for how to get entertained, how to get information, how to connect with people, whatever the objective is. Then via that, interaction, I see something you have that's a value I need, I buy. I see something you have that's a value somebody else needs, I refer them.
Wonderful.
So your focus is building a brand that people want to do business with, they connect with. And this would happen through the different kinds of content that you share repeatedly.
Okay.
Bearing in mind the initial goal, which is the initial experience.
Experience you want to sell.
Yes.
I wish we had more time. Just very fast, can you just point out any other ones that you might want to talk about?
So the very important thing that business owners must pay attention to is how do you harvest the lifetime value of a customer? Let me use somebody who sells cosmetic as an example.
Okay.
I come to you today, I buy soap.
Okay.
Right? Tomorrow I go to the next person and buy cream.
All right.
The reason that customer didn't come back to you is because they have not seen everything you can do for them at a glance.
At a glance.
Whether you are there or not.
Okay.
So you must have a sales system in place. A sales system that walks your customer from the beginning of what you have to the end of what you have, whether they are buying today or not. If they don't buy today, they'll come tomorrow because they have gone through your entire process and they know that tomorrow, if they need this thing, this person has it.
Wow, Justy has just put us through social media marketing and at the same time, business marketing all at the same time. Wonderful. It was great having you. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much.
That's all on Tech for today. Don't go nowhere. We'll be back. We have our art display coming right up after this.
You're still watching Wake Up Nigeria, and it's time for us to speak with a photographer, an interesting gentleman here, Agba Ochege. He's a freelance photographer who's traveled the world just to capture and document timeless moments. His unique style of photography takes life from being humorous, colorful, and real. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so we've had the opportunity to go through a few of your images, and hopefully they'll be showing a few of them as we have this discussion. But whenever I speak with a photographer, the first question I ask is, what was it that made you first pick up a camera?
I think it started way back in school, like I think about 7, 8 years. When I would buy a phone camera and just start playing and taking pictures of friends.
Okay.
So I think at that time, people just saw my pictures and they were like, oh, please come and take me, come and take me.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. But at that time, I paid no attention, actually. So it was during my NYSC, I decided to, okay, maybe start up this photography journey. So I saved up my NYSC Allawee for maybe 5 months or 6 months to be able to buy my first camera. So then I would just move around. I was serving in Enugu at the time, so I would look for Fulani headsmen, people playing around, just take pictures, random pictures.
Wow.
So that was how it started. Then at some point, a friend of mine told me, oh, I'm having this event. I want you to come and shoot with me. At that time, I still didn't have all my gears, but I was like, okay, let's just do this. You get? So I got there and took some pictures. And after the event, it wasn't even in Lagos. After the event, I looked at my camera and I checked my pictures. I now checked my friends' images and I was like, okay, what's going on? I felt really down because I felt my images were not so good. And I was like, oh, wow. Am I supposed to continue this journey? But that was the point where I took it upon myself and said, this is what I'm going to do. Because the truth is that photography, people think picking up a camera and just shooting will just give you the images.
Yeah.
You get, but there are skills and training that I had to go into it. So over time, yeah, I had to.
So I've heard about this process before, you know, and people see different things when they look through a camera lens. People see different things when they look into their own selfie camera, not to talk of a professional camera like probably the equipment you're using right now, which must cost a lot of money.
Wow.
Some people say they see dollar signs when they look through an expensive camera.
As in, most time we just don't want it to drop.
You just don't want it to fall.
Yeah, we just don't want it to, because most time we spend a lot of money trying to make sure. At first, people will tell you, oh, don't spend so much on the gear or this or that. But for you to improve, for you to, aside from learning and training yourself, you also need to spend money on your equipment. Yeah.
So what's the most exotic place you've been to with your camera?
I've been to, I know I've been to the extreme north, but I've done Mauritius. This picture was actually taken in Mauritius.
Mauritius, okay.
So it was a beach in Mauritius. I've done Mauritius, done Kenya. Kenya. So it's been a journey. It's been interesting. For me, when I go to places like that, it's always an opportunity to capture landscape. And at some point, I captured monkeys, wildlife, and some kind of things, you know, just because at the end of the day, I don't want those pictures, I don't want those times, I don't want to lose those times. You get, so I want to have them saved somewhere. So it could be in my hard drive or maybe in frames like this.
Speaking of frames, you know, there's always that question of how to get the right frame for a picture. So this is a photo of the beach in Mauritius. But you chose a simple plain black frame. Was there a reason for that? Why not something more elaborate?
I think picking a frame for an image, usually I would say pick a frame that doesn't distract you from the picture itself.
Okay.
You get, but for some other reasons, for instance, if I was shooting someone who is clocking 70, 80, I might probably want to do a very elaborate frame that has all the designs and all those, you get, because of that. But when you're doing things relating to art and all the likes, it's better to reduce the attention from the frame.
Okay.
Let it be just the pictures.
So you probably have displayed in quite a few places, you know, but is there any huge lifelong dream of having your pictures maybe in a place like the Louvre or something like that?
Definitely. The thing is, at some point, the reason why I take a lot of pictures now, especially when I move around, is because at some point I want to be able to exhibit in bigger places, bigger spaces, and around the world, actually. You get, at some point, I also want to be able to shoot for bigger brands, international brands, and the likes. You get.
Okay, so now, what makes you, so different photographers snap in different ways. We have one of our PR guys who just snaps per second. You know, he's just clicking that button all the time. And then there are some that will wait till the shot is completely perfect before they actually click.
Yeah, true.
Which one are you?
I'm more of the person that waits. Yeah, too, because most times you want to get the perfect frame. When I say frame, not this frame
Not
this time,
frame.
but like the frame, what you see inside your camera. So what to include and what not to include. For instance, when you're shooting a bride, for instance, there are sometimes you don't want to capture her when she is in the bad mood or when she's, so choosing the right time to shoot, because sometimes you can shoot a job and send it to her and she's like, I don't like the way I'm looking.
Okay.
You get, but that's because you probably didn't capture her in that moment. So most times you're trying to find that moment and capture.
So do you always find the moment?
It's a lot of work. You have to try to get those moments. You get, sometimes you miss it, but you always work at it.
All
You
right.
get,
So now the only question I'll ask now is, does Photoshop play a role in your work, or are you a pure organic photographer?
I originally started as a very organic, even till now, I still have clients who still call me and say, oh, please, see, take these pictures. I don't want so many edits. In fact, I still get more calls every time telling me, oh, please, see, there's no need. I like the way your jobs are. You get, I don't want to do the plasticky thing. I don't want, you get, and I still get clients for that. I barely even do ads for that. You get, just because people know that, okay, this is what they want and they get it that way. You get, so not that I don't know how to use Photoshop, it's just that for clients it varies. For instance, when you're doing some beauty portraits, you want everything perfect. You get, so you still have to, take
touch
out,
up.
touch up a lot of things. So it depends on the client, actually.
So before we head to the kitchen, let's talk about this little piece right here.
Oh, okay.
You framed this.
Yeah.
It's a picture of a keke,
Yeah.
but you took that picture and framed it. Why did you frame a picture of a keke?
The truth is that, for instance, when I take some of these pictures, I'm thinking, okay, why would people need this in their homes? You get, so imagine if I was a keke rider, won't I want to have something like that?
Okay.
Like, or some other, some other, I don't know, company might just decide that, okay, they probably want to say something that relates to what happens in Lagos. You get?
Yeah.
When you think about Lagos, some of the things that come to mind is Danfo, keke, maybe the edifices and all of that. Yeah.
So it's kind of like a commercial move.
Yeah.
All right then. All right then. All right. Thank you so much for coming to talk to us about your amazing photography.
Thank you.
And we will be looking out for so many more of your shots. Your social media handle has been on the screen, so I know that people are visiting now. Let's take a stroll to the kitchen.
Yay.
We have Korede Spag. Korede Spaghetti.
Okay.
That's been working on an amazing meal for us to try out today. But interestingly, it's called Korede Spag, but he didn't make spaghetti today. Please take a seat.
Welcome to the kitchen.
So Korede rice.
Yes.
It's a pleasure.
So, welcome to the kitchen. Now, Korede Spaghetti has made suya rice, but he's going to tell us what we have here.
Okay. Break it down. When the idea behind the food is that the most important street food in Nigeria is suya.
Okay.
And we decided to infuse suya to rice.
Okay.
To add class to suya.
So not add class to rice.
No.
So, and what we have here is that we have basmati rice that comes with grilled beef and sausage, and a lot of vegetable.
Okay. Okay, you know
and
what?
also, obviously, serve the plantain.
Pass it over, pass it over.
So.
Drum roll.
Yes, indeed.
Some drum roll.
There you go.
Yeah.
Please, have a taste and tell us what you think.
Okay.
I can smell it.
Fist forward, fist forward.
Yeah, there's some steak in there
Mike,
as
what
well.
are you doing?
Yeah.
Fist forward, all of you, fist forward.
You guys,
Focus on
don't look at me.
Don't worry. Right on.
Goodness me.
Over 10. Let's give a rating over 10.
Rates on a scale of 1 to 10.
Let me have more.
Should I let you bring your camera to take
Usually
a
a good sign when they say, can I have some more?
Oh, yeah.
Good sign.
Anyway, we have to start rounding off the show. It's been a great show today, this Thursday morning. Of course, tomorrow is going to be really, really special.
And of
the
course,
Friday edition of the show.
Because Friday is game day. Yes.
You're supposed to pre-warn me before.
What? I didn't take your ear off this time.
Yeah.
A big shout out to our friends at Homely NG for the kitchen accessories. And of course, to all of you who tuned in today. We appreciate you all.
And to all our guests for joining us on the show. Well done, Chef Korede. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Thank
nice
What,
one.
what do you think? What do you think?
Yeah. Exceptional. It's really good.
Exceptional.
Exceptional.
Spicy, you know. And he's going to give me his special spice, some of his special
No,
spice.
he's not.
to
He's
take
giving me
Okay.
some of his special
You know what? This
spice.
argument is going to take a while to settle. Meanwhile, we're going to hand it over to you. Make sure you tune to Your View after this. Much love, y'all. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.